Welcome back, everyone. We're halfway through Baja already. We've been driving down this dirt road for like 7 hours, but we thought we'd take a little bit of a break and fill you guys in on our exodus from the States once again. So when we left you last, we were heading south out of Colorado, and we actually stopped off at Off Grid Expo in Denver, Colorado, and met up with AT Overland. We chatted it up with Mario there for a bit, and he hooked us up with this aluminum gas can holder and this steel gas can. Thank you very much, Mario. I'm going to display this proudly.
Okay.
And
mount it up, make us proud, send us some pictures.
I'll do you proud.
You know how to get hold of us.
Thanks so much.
All right, safe travels.
See you, man. There's lots of cool vendors at Off Grid Expo there, and in a way it's kind of like a little Overland Expo, and met lots of cool people, and even got picked out of the crowd by some of our super fans, so that was cool. Fellow Canadians, say.
Yeah. Hey there. We spotted you. You guys are famous.
Well,
Everlanders,
yeah. We
know you.
Free sticker for you.
Yeah.
Right.
I mean, I saw the beard and I knew instantly.
Okay, well, I've been told I can't shave it. It's too iconic now. So.
Yeah, it's part of your brand.
Yep, exactly.
Hi.
Back down to Mexico.
Yeah, we're gonna
You want some more of those tacos I've got.
Yeah, no, we're going down in Baja and then ferrying over into mainland. Having this jerry can in hand, we stopped off at Bevan's place in Phonix and welded up a new bracket which holds this gas can up above our spare tire, and of course gave it the obligatory Everlanders gray paint job. Mario gave us this decal to put up on our badunkadunk, which I think is the perfect color match for our rig. It was really great to stop off and visit with Bevan and his family. He's been very gracious to let us crash at his place, and have a shipping address there where we've got all of our packages from the States shipped to. So that's been really great. So while we were there, we swapped out our original direct drive starter with a planetary gearbox, gear reduction, high torque starter motor starter. And that's been really nice. It spins the motor over nice and fast, and we'll carry our original around as a spare for a little while. So one of the packages we were waiting for was a Pressure Pro tire pressure monitoring system. It's a wireless tire pressure monitor setup for big rig trucks, and I think the system was intended for an 18-wheeler, but it'll work just fine for our 4. And he had that kicking around, wasn't using it, and so he offered that to us. So that's really great. We're going to be doing a video on that, installing it here on the truck and giving it our little unbiased review. One of the things I've been wanting to do for a long time is window tint. Back in Saskatchewan, it's not legal to tint any windows 180 degrees forward of the driver, and so we couldn't tint our windows legally. But as we'll be traveling for extended periods through Mexico and Central America, it's going to get smoking hot, and new modern window tints with the ceramic in them cut the heat that gets into the cab by huge numbers. I don't remember offhand, but as you can see, we've got our front windshield and 2 side windows tinted, and we called Randy at Randy's Window Tinting in Surprize, Arizona, and he got us in less than an hour, and him and his crew had all 3 windows tinted in less than an hour. So that was really great to have that level of service. We were in and out real quick, and I really like it. You can certainly notice a decrease in heat inside the cab. Another item on the list for heading south was our air conditioning system. We really haven't had any big problems with it, but we wanted to make sure everything was in top-notch order, and Bevan had a friend who has a machine to service them right in his home garage. So we popped in there, and he evacuated our system, pulled a vacuum on it, re-lubricated the system, and replaced the refrigerant. And so it's good to know that it's not hugely deficient. Everything's working as good as it can. So that was really great. Thank you so much for that. One of the other packages we were waiting on was a set of directional antennas from Wireless Engineering. We had a set of these on our last trip through Mexico, and they worked really, really well, but they're intended for a stationary installation on your home or putting them up after you've stopped. And we had them installed on a directional mast that pointed them at the nearest cell phone tower, and they're just not meant for that. And so all that rough bumping and jostling down rough roads took their toll, and the little finger elements inside the antenna would all wiggle and vibrate, and then they started fracturing at the roots, and they cracked off and broke. And so it's not really intended for that, but I shared my experience with wireless engineering, and they improved things and put a strengthened backplate on it and so on, and sent out another set. But just to be doubly, triply sure, I went ahead, took them apart, and tried to arrest that vibration by coating the elements in expanding foam, and then I filled the cone with expanding foam and slapped it all together. And hopefully that won't affect the impedance of the antenna. I went ahead and painted them also, just so they're color matched nicely to the truck, but we haven't got a chance to use them quite yet. We've kind of been beelining our way south through Baja, getting down here, and so there's lots of videos coming up with those sorts of odds and ends in there. Another thing we did while we were in Phoenix was had our CO2 cylinder refilled. We're big fans of carbonated water, as it keeps us from drinking pop and other bad-for-you things, but it has that nice burpy flavor. So we had our CO2 tank refilled, and I hacked our SodaStream some time ago and just pulled the main head out of the unit and wired it in directly to the regulated CO2 tank. And that's really great, because rather than carrying around a 14-ounce tank, or 16 ounces, whatever they are, tank of CO2 that you have to exchange for $20 per tank, I have a 20-pound cylinder that we can use for a long, long time, and it only costs about $30 to refill. So if anyone's interested in that hack, let me know in the comments. I can maybe do a video on it in the future. We were waiting for a package to arrive in Phoenix, but it was going to be a few days late, so we headed up to the Prescott and Payson areas, where we met some new friends. They were just starting out overlanding in their Jeep with a rooftop tent, and we hung out with them. And then over to Payson, where we met up with Tom from The Lost Box on Instagram, and he was there with his family, and we caught the tail end of their little camping outing together. Hung out with them, felt very welcomed. Thank you guys, it was very nice to meet you. And then Greg and Ginger from Driven to Adventures joined us, and we went out and camped on this pretty epic vista. It's really rocky looking rim overlook, and spent the night there exchanging some stories and lining all of our trucks up for these epic drone montages. Can't get enough of epic drone montages. And what else did we get? Oh yeah, Continental hooked us up with a set of MPT81s. We'd been running the last set that we had for over 6 years, and had 68,000 kilometers on them, I believe. And so while they are regroovable and we could have eked some more life out of them, they were older than 5 years, which is what a commercial truck tire ages out at. They're not legal to run on a commercial truck after 5 years, so we figured we better get a brand new set, top-notch, good condition for this longer trip south through areas where we might not have such good availability. We're doing a whole big video on tires that's half filmed and half thought out, but if anyone has any tire related questions, lots of people are asking about our dual rear wheels converted to single, and how we fit these tires. So we're trying to address all those questions, but if you have any tire related questions, get them in the comments here quick, and we'll try and fit them in that video as well. Another thing we got in the mail is this TacLife boost pack. This was sent to us by the good folks at TacLife, completely unsolicited. And they originally said, we'll send you this such and such a model. And I said, we have a big block 7.3 liter diesel. There's no way that's gonna boost our truck. So they sent us the big one. This is the T8 Max. Let's plug it in here, see if it works. There's Apparently you just do this and then hook it up to your engine areas and then head in here. Ta-da! Now, of course, we've been driving for many hours, so our batteries are all fully charged, and it would have started even without this unit, but it's good to know we have it if we need it. We'll have to do a little bit of a better review on it later. Perhaps if we meet someone on the road who needs a boost, I can give this a more thorough evaluation then. It looks really decent. We've actually used it a bit already just as a battery, USB battery bank, and it's, I think, 20,000 milliamps or 20 amp hours. So, looks decent. I'll have to give it a better review later. And thus, that will be it for this episode. Let us know in the comments below if you have any detailed questions about the topics I alluded to. We're going to try and slow down here and make some better video content now that we're down in the belly of it. So, comments in the doobly-doo. Thanks so much for watching. We'll see you next time.